Hello and welcome to the Warhammer Meta Chasers. My name is Paul, your host. I'm joined by Adam Camilleri
Oh, g'day.
and Dustin Henshaw.
G'day, everybody.
This is your weekly Warhammer 40,000 tournament rundown of the biggest and best events happening all over the world. We're about to be closing out an ITC season on the cusp of another giant event. I'm sure we'll mention it a little bit over the course of these next couple of weeks, but we're going to be living in the now. 2025 events are happening, mega events are happening, and we're here to talk about it. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the Nottingham Super Major, the Denver 40K Fight Club, January Open, and the Exterminatus 10. How are y'all doing this evening / morning / wherever you are in the world when you're listening to us?
We do have every time.
I'm pretty good, mate. Yeah, I'm pretty good. I just went to the gym, did a bunch of stats, sitting down, talking to my mates, talking about some beautiful stuff. Yeah, the second last weekend of the ITC season, which has been an interesting one, very much dominated by the European scene, or more to the point, the UK scene, with the UK TC circuit really dominating with both numbers, people getting out in force all over. It's a lot easier when your country is that small to just like...
When to hit a bunch of big events?
Oh. Yeah, they just have big events with like 300 or 400 players every single month. And yeah, I'm very jealous of that fact. And please do not think I'm throwing any shade. I'm jelly.
No, that's probably like a subject for another one of the podcasts that we do about, it's like when you are constantly testing yourself against the best in a certain area they can all kind of easily get to. Does that raise the bar? Are we seeing effects of that? And is that something to plan for if you plan on playing some of these competitors here in the next season? But, we'll get to that. I want to say welcome to some folks in the chat. We do this live each and every week at 9 p.m. on Thursday. Nurgle Matt, Bradtastic Craft, KR, Askarath. Welcome to the chat. Anybody else hanging out there? Let us know what you're up to, hanging out with us. We really appreciate it. As we start this new year off with a bang in the Nottingham Super Major, Nottingham, England, 394 players, 7-round event. Now, look, Nottingham, the home of Warhammer, where he is up there in the Warhammer world, there are mega events there very frequently.
Well, I know the UKTC, I think, goes there twice a year. And then, of course, you have all the Warhammer World events. I mean, if I was living there, I'd be playing it would be, I get to play Old World, then I get to play 40K, Old World, 40K. And that would be my month. It would just be like...
Your weekends would be booked.
Yeah, it'd be flat out. Yeah, no socializing, just gaming.
For sure. Oh, Dustin, what bring us either?
We're going to be seeing in the Imperial Faction there are 2 Imperial Agents pure, 8 Spell, 23 Custodes, 10 Admech, 19 Astra Militarum, 15 Grenadiers, and 11 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 29 Adeptus Astartes, 22 Dark Angels, 5 Space Wolves, 17 Blood Angels, 8 Black Templar, and 2 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 18 Chaos Space Marines, 10 T-Sons, 19 Death Guard, 11 World Leaders, 16 Demons, and 13 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 28 Necrons still topping up there, 18 Orcs, 11 Tau, 12 Votan. Hive Mind, there's 24 Tyranids. Wow. 10 Gene Stealer Cult.
What is going on?
Wow, I love that. I love seeing that. Eldari, there is 7 Drukhari and 21 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is Adeptus Astartes topping off with 29, and that is actually Adeptus Astartes. That's not the super faction. That is Ultramarines or whatever flavor of Adeptus Astartes you are going with, pure topping it off. Necrons right behind them with 28. Tyranids in third with 24. Then Custodes behind them with 23. And Dark Angels with 22. This is actually a really interesting top. Aside from, honestly, the Space Marines and Necrons being the top doesn't surprise anybody. I don't think, right?
No one.
Tyranids, though.
Tyranids being up there. Actually, exactly right. Custodes, I think everyone is just excited about Custodes. All the Custodes players are just keen with of course, the black changes. They got blacks back an option again. I'm not sure if it's a good option, a bad option. Haven't done the testing myself, but they're a thing worth playing now. And then, of course, the new detachment is actually just so much fun and powerful that, I'm not surprised to see Custodes out in force. What was surprising was the Astartes numbers. The Astartes numbers are off the freaking charts.
You mean combined total with all the
combined total?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, gee. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with the new Oath of Moment or something.
The vast majority aren't Oath of Moment.
But the 29 that are at the top of the podium are. And to be fair, you could still be one of those sub-factions and get that bonus if you don't use those data sheets.
So there's 54 non-Adeptus Astartes. I just did the math quickly. Don't quote me. And 29. Yeah, 54-ish. Like they decided not to take from the vanilla book, and went with their own specific color of Astartes. And yeah, it's just huge. It's a huge amount. It's like what would be over 80. It's like 83. It's like 83 adepts Astartes in 300. Almost 400 players. Almost a quarter of the field is just a Space Marine, and that is kind of wild. That's without including like Chaos Space Marine varieties as well. So man, they are out in force, and so many other units got a spread of availability to them. Like, I mean, I'm just chucking Reavers in every Marine list. I don't care what color you are. 5 Reavers, absolute banger unit now. Like
really Reavers? Okay.
Yeah. Just for utility, just the OC negatives and minusing OC opportunities are very cheap. They're still just a Space Marine body, the same as if you were taking Incursor or an Infiltrator. It's exactly the same thing, but they scout instead of infiltrate, and they have the neg. And now they got an AP in combat. Thank freaking God they can actually do something in combat now.
Yeah, those knives.
Yeah, their little shanks actually will go through armor, and Outriders as well, getting and regular vanilla old intercessors also getting huge leases on life and back into competitive play. So lots and lots to love there. And of course, Necrons might as well be the gold standard for competitive play for 10th edition. They would have to have an astronomical drop off from here to not be considered like the most evergreen faction of 10th edition. They've gone They've gone 18 months of the edition right now being like a top 3 faction for pretty much the entire time, apart from like maybe the index, the very start of the index.
Well, people were trying to figure them out, right? But once they figured it out,
also people are like, oh wow, I could take 20 Necron Warriors. It's good. Red Cannon.
That doesn't count. We're not counting that. We're not counting anybody that was victim of all those devastating wounds. It didn't count.
It didn't happen. Never. They can't hurt you anymore.
Didn't happen. But the interesting things that I found was the things that weren't taken in huge numbers, and most notably Adeptus Sororitas. Only 8, I believe, if I remember rightly.
Yep.
Only 8 Sisters of Battle made it into a near 400 player event, and that is an absurd drop off from previous. That number would have been tripled if this event was 2 months ago.
Yeah, there are more GSC than there are Sisters.
Correct. It's wild to me that Sisters has seen such an astronomical abandonment by the player base. There's the same amount of Black Templars, as
Sisters, they took such a points hike. I think a lot of them are still reeling from that. And this kind of like, if you have Imperium, if you have Sisters of Battle, you probably have Space Marines. Let's be honest.
They're now the Imperial Agents players.
That's true. At least those 2 Imperial Agents players are probably Sisters of Battle players. Let's be
but I do see what you're talking about. Was kind of some commentary about maybe why we're not seeing the Sisters is in force is because the amount of lists that you got dramatically shrank, and so you don't have those delaying trade units while you're scoring points, which makes it more difficult to win some games, and that's something to consider.
And you lost all your faith dice. Like you lost your 2 major things that the Sisters play in is the faith dice to help with your consistency and the amount of units you have for trading.
Yeah, the activations, the sheer activations you had. Yeah, of which to wield your miracle dice, and when both of those shrank, But I also think Sisters are a very good army still.
They are. Oh, absolutely, they are. Definitely,
they
got to take some more practice to get into it again. They got to change up the list a little bit, but
you're back to having to have it clearly defined, and then some amount of luck about what your matchups are.
Yeah, and also it could be a factor of we're into the end of the season. People are into a new year. People are already willing to change and play new things going into a new year. And also people might be like, well, I don't know if I have, I can't get like 10 or 15 reps in with Sisters before my last big event of the season. And I can't take what I was taking because it's just completely changed. So I'm going to jump on some new hotness. I'm going to go jump on a Shatterstar. I'm going to go jump on a Custodians list. I'm going to go jump on a new Oath of Moment, Grandiose Vanguard, Gladiator, whatever it might be. So Gladius, whatever it might be. And that also could be an absolute factor.
Oh, for sure.
We're going to do something a little bit different for this episode. I'm going to read off some names, and these are some of the top ITC contenders at this Nottingham event. And listen carefully. Inez Wilson, number 1. Josh Roberts, number 2 in the ITC. Kyle Grundy, number 3 in the ITC. Nassim Fouchain, 4th in the ITC. David Gaylord, 8th in the ITC. Andy Quas-Cohen, 9th in the ITC. So of those names, let's pick 2 out of the chat for a list we're going to look at.
Yeah. So 6 of the top 10 in the ITC are attending this event. So the top end of this thing is, as you know, is probably just shy of how good the WCW pool was for, you know, best players in the world. But this thing, like based on ITC rankings, is very stacked, very top heavy for how good and how strong the finalists are likely to be. But yeah, we want to, I haven't pulled, so just so people know, I haven't pulled out any lists for the other two events that we're doing. I pulled out and I did the breakdown for all 6 of those lads. And you guys will have the option to choose which ones of those we break down.
Yeah, so, give us a couple of names for us to look at. You know, and this is like, you know, these are folks that they're trying to either gain a few more points, get a little bit of a cushion, or protect that spot as they go into the Las Vegas Open.
I can tell you, apart from David Gaylard, of the ones that we reeled out, I think everyone else in that number I reeled out is also going to the LVO. So they're going to go back to back. They're going to go super major into super major for these 2 weeks. So not only are these boys going to test themselves against each other, they're going to come in sharp for the LVO, having just mixed it up in a 400 player slobber knocker. So I think they're really setting themselves up for success.
That's a great way to do it. You're basically just getting those reps in against people that are trying to win. Those games matter. You're going to go into sharp into another event where the points absolutely do matter.
Well, you want to get as many reps as you can, like you said, and like even look at the GSC factions, like the ones that detachments were taken. This awesome new detachment came out. Out of the 10, only 2 are taking it. 7 are going with the tried and true biosective surge. So, like, I mean,
interesting.
Another one is doing the outlater claw, because that one still works too. But the biosec is still tried and true for a lot of them, right? It's very comfortable, and why switch it up now, right before LVO? Maybe it's not the time to try something new.
Yeah.
Factions here: Necrons, Astra Militarum, Tau, Ultramarines, Blood Angels.
Blood Angels.
Those are the factions.
All right. I'm just going to ask you boys: Blood Angels or Ultras? Which list do you guys want to hear about? I think I know which one. All right, Inez Wilson, number 1 in the world, Blood Angels.
Kind of hard not to want to talk about the Blood Angels.
All right, he has a Q&A lifted out of an FAQ as his title on his list, and it says, if I do not take any Blood Angel specific units, do I still get the +1 wound benefit from New Oath of Moment? And the answer was yes. So he has taken the Liberator Assault Group of Blood Angels, sans Blood Angels units.
I looked at this list. I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah. So this is basic B Space Marines, but just happens to be Blood Angels and souped up. So he has 2 captains, one of which has Rage Fueled Warrior, which is, I believe, the sustained 3.
That sounds right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Then he has a captain Librarian in Phobos armor, 5 assault intercessors, 2x5 intercessors, regular intercessors, 2 impulses to tote around, whoever manages to join up with the captain, 3x5 jump back intercessors, 5 desolation marines, and we'll unpack those in a sec. 5 incursors, 2x5 infiltrators, one of which will get the Phobos Librarian, 5 reavers, 5 scouts, 5 stern guard, and 2 vindicators. Now the 5 stern guard will be getting one of the captains, because then the captain goes absolutely bonkers with rerolls to wound and dev wounds, and the one turn that he decides to go Super Saiyan, which will probably be the Rage Fueled Warrior one, and then that guy can pretty much one-shot Magnus. So he is an absolute baller. Then they'll go inside the impulses and get toted around. He's got a couple of indicators for backfield and fire support. And then, boys, the Desolation Marines. First time we've seen them. In like an easy year.
Ines, don't do this. Don't bring them back.
Don't bring them back. Yeah. Don't give them hope.
Don't give
boys,
them hope.
Why do you think they're here?
Oh, what do you mean? Why do you think they're here?
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of attacks, right? It's a lot of shots that are indirect, basically,
Reroll everything with +1
they ignore cover. It's like there's nothing safe.
Yeah, they take the +1 to wound extremely well. There are basic indirect shots. Of course, they have the Vengor launcher, which is D6 shots at a blast at 712, and then they'll have their little shots. Yeah. And then they have a little shot, which is D3 blast at 401. These are here to kill guard.
Yeah,
these are here to smash guard.
If you guys did you know what the terrain is like? There's going to be terrain on his home objective that is above 5 inches. Remember this rule that people don't use very much?
Fire.
Plunging fire.
Yep.
Out of line of sight, plunging fire.
Ooh.
Yep.
I always say it because I use it with my saboteurs and I love it.
Very nice. But yeah, and then of course they have their straight line shots, which is just like strength 10 AP2 D6 plus 1, like las cannon equivalents. 1 less AP than las cannon, 2 less strength, but you got 5 of them or whatever. You probably have 4 because one of them got a Bengal launcher. But yeah, these guys function like Dark Reapers. If it quacks like a duck, there's like a duck, you probably use it like a duck. And yeah, it's going to be there to smash scions. It's going to be there to strip away your screens. Anything that's going to stop him from connecting with his little hammer units. I like the surgical nature of this. Like, there's no big points investment in any portion of this list. The only truly like expensive combination are the Vindicators and or a captain plus 5 Sternguard in a impulsor, and even that's like, it's not 400 points. It's not 350 points. It's pretty damn cheap. So I like the MSU nature of this, and the fact that it kind of gets away with playing all phases of 40k.
And
two Vindicators, as well. Like basically just keeping things absolutely honest. There's nowhere safe from this list. There are lots of Marine bodies. You can jump around, be on all the objectives, trade effectively. This seems pretty strong.
Yeah, we'll go through a couple others. So next up, we're going to skip over the Ultramarines of Josh Roberts because it's pretty much exactly what you think it is, and we just did a Marine one. But we're going to go with Kyle Grundy, number 3 in the world with his Tau Empire for Mondkar. And of course, came to WCW, has been all over the world this year with his Tau, doing pretty dang well. He has gone Mondkar for this final, second last stretch. And I think that may be a consideration to the way the meta is going, that things are going to be jumping down and getting close to you no matter what you do, like things like Scions, things like Inceptors, some of the melee assets out there, GSC, everyone's going to be kind of getting close. So you don't want to take a list that doesn't mind your opponent being close to you. He's got a Fireblade and Farsight. He's got 2 Enforcer Commanders, then a Kroot Warshaper with Strike Swiftly. 2x10 breaches in Devilfish, 2x2 broadsides with the Rels, 2x3 Fire Knife Crisis Seams, which are the missile ones, if you didn't know. A single unit of 3 Sunforged Crisis Suits, which are the fusions. They'll almost definitely be going with Farsight. 10 Kroot for the Kroot Shaper. 2x5 Kroot Hounds, 10 Pathfinders, 3x3 Stealth Suits, and 5 Vespid. And you just keep talking when you're breaking down a good Tau list. You just keep saying words. Just the words keep coming. The list keeps going.
Sooner or later, we will learn what a Sunforged Crisis Suit is.
Yeah, maybe. I refuse. But yeah, this is another really good list. It's a little bit less brutal. It's a little bit less savage than some of the Tau lists I've seen Kyle Grundy take this season, where he has been known to take 21 Crisis Suits. I
was in the Callion, right? That was a different loadout.
Exactly right. So he's gone he's kind of compressed his damage into a couple of smaller, more surgical assets, and then really rounded out the scoring. Like, he has scoring for days. Kroot Hounds, Kroot, Pathfinders, 3x3 Stealth Suits, and 5 Vespid. He can just score whatever he wants, in addition to the 2 Devilfish with 10 breaches in it. They can flip just about any objective in the midboard. They can just flip unless you've got like double, triple redundancy on it. I really like the balance of this list once again, when we're starting to see people pull out like their really classy lists, the really well-rounded ones, as we get into the pointy end of the season.
Digging this, see how well it does on the objectives and up against some of the toughest competition in the world. Let's do one more before we go to the next event.
All right, boys, you want the Guard one or do you want the Necron one?
Let's look. See, I'd like to look at the Necron one because see what has changed. Are they going with a little bit of Grotmus action here?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the Guard one is like, they're both, the 2 Guard ones we have are both bridgeheads, and you just be like, okay, so it's just min-maxed Scions and stuff. So fair. Andy Cosco,
the Guard are most likely to change too. We know there's stuff from
that's
the Guard
also
coming,
true,
right?
That's true. Whereas, yeah, this Necron list will stay very stable for quite some time. So this is Andy Quaz-Cohen, ranked number 9th in the world. Also ranked, of course, the best Necron player in the world at the moment. He's got Shatterstar Arsenal, led by the Silent King, of course, because he's nigh unkillable versus 90% of the armies in the world. He has a Locust Lord with miniaturized Nebuloscope. 2 Scorpec Lords, one of which has a Chrono Impedance Field, the other one has Demanding Leader. So it's got a bit of melee in here. 2x5 Flayed Ones, 2x3 Scorpec Destroyers to get their Scorpec Lords, 2 Single Destroyers, 3 1/1 Heavy Destroyers, the big unit having the Daka shots, and the 2 singles just having the big Gorse one-shot bang dead weapons, and then a Canoptic Reanimator and 3 DDAs, that being Doomsday Arcs. What do you make of it, lads? I like this list very much.
I mean, I don't. And not because it's not good, because I don't want to fight against it.
Me either. I was somewhat waiting for a top player to show me a Shatterstar that I stood up and respected, because the vast majority of Shatterstars I've been seeing, these early press ones, they go too all in on the damage dealing and they actually just lose the game.
Yeah.
They actually just lose the game because they got like 2 single destroyers and a unit of just a unit of flayed ones to try and play the mission, and all you do is just kill those and force them to put DDAs on objectives, and then you're like, okay, I guess I'm winning. So this is the first one I've seen that I think strikes the balance correctly, and it looks like it's very well rounded. I mean, in a pinch, the 2 single heavy destroyers become scoring pieces once again. The 2x3 Scorpek destroyers with the Scorpek Lords, I think, is very cute. I did want to quickly look up and let you guys know what the enhancements are. The miniaturized Nebuloscope is range weapons equipped by models in the bearer's unit have ignores cover, so he's going to have ignores cover on his big Daka unit of the 3 heavy destroyers.
Heavy destroyers, yeah.
Demanding Leader, which is on one of the Scorpek Lords. In your movement phase, select 1 friendly Necron's vehicle and Necron's mounted unit within 6 of the bearer until starting this command phase. You're able to shoot in the turn in which you fell back. So that'll be standing there playing defense for the DDAs and the Silent King. So the Silent King get like just enveloped by infinity, Gene Stilcott models from reserve or something. In Bias Satanic, 10 points, fall back, shoot, blow them up. And then Chrono Impedance Fields is in your command phase, select 1 friendly Necron's vehicle or mounted unit within 6 until starting next command phase, -1 damage. So it's funny that he's going to be playing defense with his offensive units. So these 2 units of 3 Scorpek destroyers. Because counter offense.
One of the big things that this list can suffer from is like heavy melee aggression. And just these little units here can actually clear that out. And the thing is now they're giving value while doing that. So we're sitting here waiting to countercharge you, but we're also doing stuff for the stuff that we're defending, right? So actually, it makes a lot of sense. I like that.
I really like this list. I like this list a lot.
Question: I'm assuming the big squad of heavy destroyers is the anti-infantry shots.
It's the infantry. They're 12 shots each. 12 shots each. They're the 7-1-1s. And they can have all the rerolls, and these ones will have built-in ignores cover. As well.
Yes. That's because I was looking at this like, oh, how does he deal with the hordes? Oh, there it is.
Oh yeah, he deals.
There it is.
3 DDAs shooting broadsides with their Gorse arrays, and then that unit is pretty much all you need. Yeah. For the
Scorpek destroyers, not really bit slouches either as far as
absolutely not. Yeah, they're really good. Not. And then each one of them has a Lord in it as well, so they actually punch up very effectively. I love this list. I think this list is excellent. And I love that it's not taking Catan. The worst thing I've seen is people trying to put Catan in their Star Shatters, and I'm just like, ooh, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah,
going the wrong way, guys. Let him go. Let him go. You had your fun with
They were
Catan.
good.
Move on.
They're fine. They had their time. Move on.
Yeah.
This looks like a Necron list too. Like I think this is really cool. Like kind of that, maybe out of a book's Necron list.
If this had 20 warriors in it,
I was going to say
it would tick every one of my boxes. It would have the Scorpeks, it would have the destroyers, it would have the constructs and the DDAs and the reanimator. It would have the Lords and the Silent King. Yeah, it would actually be perfect if you could somehow get. Please don't lower the points enough that they get 20 warriors.
No. Well, they wouldn't put 20 warriors in there at that point.
But we got to pick some winners here. So this is the point of the show. If you're just joining us, if you're just brand new here, we run down the event, the factions, some of the lists, some of the notable players there. Notable ranked either because we know them and they've done well in the past, or they're highly ranked in the ITC, or they are patrons of our Patreon and we want to shout them out at the event that they're going to, all those kind of things. But then at the very end of that, after we've all done that, we predict what list or player or faction or whatever we think is going to be the winner of this. And then we do a second show for Patreon tier 2 and above, where we look back at the past week's show to see who did actually win, see what list did well.
So I got a dice.
Do you,
Dustin? Call your number on the D3.
Call my number.
Yeah.
Okay, 5 up.
You got the 5 and the 6. Paul, what do you want?
I'll take right there in the middle, the 3-4.
Yeah, 3 and the 4. Paul.
Ooh. Picking first here. I will go Blood Angels because why not? Number 1 player.
That's
taking your faction.
Time to do it.
Blood Angel ish. It's ish.
I think it doesn't deserve to have the blood on it. I think it's just called Angel.
Yeah.
Well, it loses the blood. There's no blood on these angels.
The Core Angel list, they are a Codex compliant chapter.
True. That's true. Dustin, what would you like?
This is so hard. Necrons.
Necrons is good. I'm going Orcs.
Oh yeah.
The hot word on the street is that a bunch of these top players have had recent struggles into a certain Orc player, and I'm going to back that guy. His name's Brian Sipe, so I'm going to back him and his Tactic Brigade, and because you guys picked kind of the two.
Oh, and then he's gone.
Well, like he dropped the mic. He's out. I'm sure he'll be back.
Did I drop or did they drop?
You're here now.
Did I drop or did they drop?
You're back.
I don't know if I dropped or they dropped.
Oh, can you hear us?
That's the only way to solve that. Is just keep singing.
I can't tell if he can hear us or not.
I can now.
Okay.
Did you get my soliloquy?
We did.
My beautiful off the cuff.
We did.
Song that I sometimes sing.
It was wonderful. It was wonderful.
Oh my goodness. All right, well look, that's that. Check us out in part 2 if you are so inclined. We will talk about how this shook out in 7 rounds and how if this magical orc list is able to cut through all of that, as Adam is predicting. Denver 40K Fight Club January Open from Denver, Colorado in the United States is this weekend. 85 players, 6-round event. So we're talking about the United States for a second. The United States got a lot of stuff going right now. We got winter weather advisors, we got fires and stuff. So if anybody is anywhere impacted with that, certainly giving a shout out to y'all. Stay safe, and I hope all is well. But Denver, cold right now.
Cold. And I'd like to echo that. Coming from a country that is regularly on fire, especially this time of year, my heart goes out to you. Hopefully you're all safe, looking after each other, and getting support that you need.
Yeah, make sure that you stay safe out there, guys. That's something you really need to focus on. Get the support that you need. Don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed. If you need support, get it.
What are we going to see there for 85 players?
85 players will be seeing 1 Battle 3 Custode, 1 AdMech, 6 Astral Militarum, 1 Grey Knight, and 3 Imperial Knights. Space Marines are 6 Adeptus Astartes, 3 Dark Angels, 1 Space Wolf, 2 Blood Angels, 2 Black Templar, and 3 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 8 Chaos Space Marines, 0 T-Suns. Oof. 6 Death Guard, 6 World Eaters, 5 Demons, and 2 Chaos Knights. Xenos, there's 3 Necrons, 5 Orcs, 1 Tau, 2 Votann. Hive Mind, there's 6 Tyranids, 4 Genies to their cult. And then Eldari, there's 2 Drukhari and 2 Eldari, meaning the faction podium is Chaos Space Marines, topping off with 8. And then there's quite a big drop for the Astartes, Nids, Death Guard, World Eaters, and Astra Militarum all at 4. And then
they're at 6. That's 6, not 4.
Oh,
my bad.
You put the wrong number in my
it's
in the teleprompter.
Drop.
Yeah, it's less of a drop. And then Orcs and Demons at 5.
Is this the uprising time that we've heard about? Genies that are cults now here in large percentage compared to the player base as well.
Final day is so much fun. It is so much fun.
Well, that's exactly right. Final day has added the last thing to their myriad of different play styles.
More Tyranids?
For GSC. You've got Final Day if you want to play a bit of both. If you want to play a little bit of everything, and everything kind of is a little bit better. You've got Biosatanic if you want to just run through people. You've got Outlander Claw if you want to play janky mission play trading games. And you've got, what's the other one?
Host.
You've got Host if you kind of want to play them on the DACA game. It's kind of just fleshed them out into a what seems to be a beautifully well-balanced army now.
It is actually. I love it, but I mean, I'm addicted to Final Day. I've been playing so many iterations of it, just trying to find what I like the best. It's so much fun.
Love it. I'm happy for you for that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very happy with it.
Anybody been seeing anything spicy with Chaos Space Marines that would lead them to believe that they're on the rise? Because this is I would not have expected Chaos Space Marines to be maybe on the podium, but actually not. Yeah, Bile.
Bile is actually not bad.
Right. Obliterator's still hot.
Bile,
Bile, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I think the Obliterators are that's what I've seen is more Obliterators being played for some of the utility.
Yeah, I mean, 1 CP getting a Blit back, that's a great 1 CP.
Yep.
That's a lot of. So I've got this funny joke that I've been doing. You guys know the ship of Theseus?
Yep. Yes.
Yeah. So if technically, if one Obliterator dies and I resurrect it, then the other Obliterator dies and I resurrect it. Is it a new unit? I get to do the ability again? No, it's not. But that's the. It's the Theseus is Obliterator unit. Because it's so rare to resurrect a unit while it's still on the table the entire time and essentially have 2 new models in a unit. But yeah, you can do it. Once again, Sisters of Battle numbers absolutely destitute. A single Sister of Battle in 85 players or whatever it is. Yeah, 85 players. That is wild drop-off. That's one of the biggest drop-offs that we've seen in faction numbers in the space of 1 month, where they've gone from on the podium, a chance to win every event, to like almost not taken at close to 100 players. It's kind of wild. I mean, Deathwatch, didn't exist last month. Now they're back and there's 3 of them, and there's only 1 Sister of Battle. Not a thing that I could have said recently. And I don't know what to tell you about 0,000 Suns. It might just be a geographical nuance that there's no 1,000 Sun players in Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, 1,000 Suns is not. I feel like they've had their day for a while, and they're still a really good army. It's just I feel like there's less players. It's got a much smaller player base.
It is a niche. It's a niche player.
Yeah, it's a very niche player.
Sure.
The window of how good you can be and play T-Suns well is only getting smaller.
Yeah,
it used to be you could stuff up pretty well and then just use the triple move to move yourself to safety if things didn't go well. And then they moved that and the window got smaller. And then it was being like, well, I still have just 6 units of rubrics with a premium character. And so, I can just play a trading game, and then you couldn't do that anymore. And the window got smaller. And now they're at the fact is I have 3 units of rubrics, Magnus, and a Dream. And if anything goes wrong, your army is gone. And so I think they're finally at that tipping edge where people are just either they're bored of constantly playing and pushing uphill into this, everything's always getting worse for my faction, nothing gets better, or they're just it's time to move on.
If you had been playing them that long, you were probably a Chaos Space Marine player before.
Exactly.
You swing into Chaos Space Marines probably again if you needed to, and still use some of your rubrics if you.
Yeah,
that's it. Yep, exactly right. They might even feel a little better in some some detachments.
They might,
or maybe the 2,000 Suns players in this region are just taking the weekend off.
That's true. They're saving their brownie points to go to LVO next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's just
which is very it's very close comparatively.
Literally, it's just south over the Rockies. Just keep flying south, you'll get there eventually.
As things are not close within the United States, I'd call that close-ish.
I'd call that close-ish, and in a straight line as well, which it doesn't happen very often. Tyranny numbers, once again, both events this weekend, really good Tyranny numbers, and we'll wait and see on the third one as well. Orcs making the podium and Demons making the podium as well is really nice to see for them too. Of course, Demons. I'm somewhat jealous of Demon players. I was of the opinion they got 3 good detachments worth playing and trialing, and now I've recently been told no, they actually did get 4 because the Nurgle one is spicy good, is actually has some play and can do some things, and so now they got 4 new detachments, and whichever god you love most in Demons, you have an army worth playing, and that's pretty nice to say,
for sure.
That is good. So now let's pick some winners. Who do you think's winning this thing?
Ooh.
Went last time.
I went last time, so I will take it. And I'm just doing it again. I'm going Orcs. I'm just backing Orcs all over the world. Orcs for this weekend. Orcuary. Yeah. So we'll go Paul, then Dustin, and then Dustin goes first on the last one.
Astra Militarum.
Astra Mill and Dusty Boy.
I'll take Space Marines in this one. That's
just vanilla. Yeah, no worries.
All right. Next we're going to be talking about is Exterminatus 10 from Wagga Wagga, New South Wales, Australia. 76 players, 5-round event.
You can see why people don't think my country is real, right? But that is indigenous, as an indigenous word for the land upon which that town is built. And yeah, it's Wagga Wagga. Yeah, you got to get into it. You got to sound like an Aussie.
Oh,
this should be an awesome event.
Wagga Wagga.
Wagga Wagga.
That's it. You're getting it.
We're basically Australian now.
But practically Australian. Yeah. You said g'day when the show.
I did. I should move there.
You should.
Just be warm every day. It'd be amazing. I'd have to walk around in my underwear. I wear shorts in winter here.
You wouldn't cope.
I would not cope well.
Yeah.
All right, we will be seeing there the Imperial Perfection. There are 2 Sisters of Battle, 4 Custodes, 1 Admech, 6 Astra Militarum, 2 Grey Knights, and 2 Imperial Knights. Space Marines, there's 10 Adepts Astartes, 1 Dark Angel, 1 Space Wolf, 5 Blood Angels, and 2 Death Watch. Chaos, there's 5 Chaos Space Marines, 2 T-Suns, 6 Death Guard, 1 World Eater, 2 Demons, and 1 Chaos Knight. Xenons, there's 5 Necrons, 4 Orcs, 1 Tau, 3 Votann. Hivemind, there's 5 Tyranids, no GSE. What?
I mean, look, to be fair, we've talked about 14.
It's true.
There's
still more this weekend than there had been most of the year. So I guess that's fair.
So the 15th is here on this show. So where are they?
Where are they? Yeah, the 16th. He hasn't started yet. He hasn't started yet.
Hasn't started. Eldari, there's 1 Drukhari and 4 Eldari, meaning the faction point him. Adeptus Astartes topping this one as well with 10. Then Astra Militarum and Death Guard right behind them with 6, and the Nid, CSM, Krons, and Blood Angels behind them with 5.
I gotta look back at the last event for just 1 second. That KR's saying that Astra Militarum based on the players that were there, so maybe I got lucky on that. And then Close, we were talking about Close, 770 miles away from Vegas, so still for and over here it's.
What's that like?
Not really
9 hours.
You fly over the mountains, right? You still.
Yeah,
because you're not driving there.
Sure, it's fine.
Well, you could.
That's fine.
I do know people that drive to Vegas from here. They're crazy, but they do it.
Yeah. But yeah, another beautiful spread. Both this event and the previous event had great amount of faction dispersal. The previous event, how many factions to have on the podium? 8.
2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
And this one has 7. Great podcast content right there as I pause to count on my fingers. But yeah, 7 and 8.
Video, you can do that. Yes.
Yeah, seven factions on the podium is where I go thumbs up. That's a good spread. Like 6, 5 is fine. You get a pass mark. But when you get 7 or more, great job, great spread. Even though there is a decent cliff between Adeptus Astartes and Death Guard, because Adeptus Astartes have twice as much as NIDS, has as many as NIDS and CSM or Krons and Blood Angels put together. But surprisingly, once again, Adeptus Astartes are number 1 on the podium and make it again on the podium in another form, and that being the Blood Angels. So yeah, really, it's an Astartes world at the moment, guys, and the meta has to evolve to show the player base otherwise. But once again, this is a battle. There is 2 here. There was twice as many here as the previous event, but still not great numbers. And the other one, there was one other that jumped out to me. There is a single World Eater, which is a little bit on the low side, a single Tau, which is on the low side, a single Drukhari, which is on the low side.
And Chaos, I thought Chaos Knights were more popular down there.
They are. They genuinely are.
It's not.
I am of the. Yeah, not at this tournament, or not in this region, or people are playing other things. I am personally of the opinion, and I'm playing Chaos Knights actively at the moment, that it's quite a predatory meta for Chaos Knights right now. When you can Oath of Moment a baby knight and 5 intercessors can kill it. It's kind of rough.
Sure. Yeah, that does sound like a bad trade. That does sound.
Yeah, they grenade and they 20 shot it, and oh look, it's dead. You're like, oh wow. That sucks. So yeah, quite a predatory meta out there for knights of all varieties, and yet still people are going to charge ahead. I will be one of those people too. I did want to lament and pull one out for the fact that this one has not a lot of Dark Angels, so only a single Dark Angel, whereas Dark Angel made it on the freaking podium at the 400 player event in the UK. There's only a single one over here down under. So, and yet there's 2 Death Watch. There's double Death Watch to Dark Angels. There's as many Death Watch as Space Wolves and Dark Angels put together. So that is good. That is good. People are excited to play with their new old thing. Yeah, I worked good.
I do like it when people get to wheel out something they had appreciation before, and they get to new life into it with a rule change or a point drop or whatever.
Whereas I think Death Watch are very well positioned in the meta, because I think not only are they good into a myriad of different armies, they're also good Astartes killing Astartes. They're actually very well equipped for killing other Space Marines. So I think they're in a very good place. There's a fun bucket of Space Marines out there. All right.
So let's pick some winners.
I'm going to pick last in this one because this is a meta local to me, and I know most of the best players in attendance. So Dustin goes first in this one.
I have to go with the numbers then. Let's go with the Adeptus Astartes.
Nice, not bad. Paul?
I will take a suggestion from the chat. Simon, and say Death Guard.
Death Guard. And I will be going to NIDS.
I don't know that they suggested the Death Guard were going to do well, it's just that they were popular in Australia. So.
I don't like that Adam didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking this up now.
I'm literally betting on Alex Iglesias, who's attending. He only plays Adeptus Mechanicus and pretty much Hive Mind, and the bloke hasn't not podiumed pretty much this year in New South Wales. So that's why I picked last, guys, because I know some things.
Hey, sometimes it helps,
that's
right?
Why
it
we
helps.
do that. That's why we do that. All right, I need to see that. What was his name, sorry?
Alex Iglesias.
Alex. Okay, let's have a look. You got if you go over the show, I just want to read this out of curiosity.
We're at Fuego. We need
rundown.
you to.
I'm here. I'm here.
The 3 events we're going to do, we have something else we do now.
I'm busy. I can't.
This is why I'm trying.
You boys.
But this is the part in the show where we do get a little bit silly, so it's completely and totally okay. So this is where after we just spent 45 minutes talking about the crunchiness, the hardness, all the meta, the rules, what's going to win, what's going to lose, the dreams that are going to be crushed, and the people that are going to be exalted into the sky for their victories. Now we're going to get a little bit silly. This is a segment of the show that we call the Fuego Rapido. Sometimes this has very little to do with Warhammer. Sometimes we kind of, go off the rails a bit, where we give ourselves a series of topics and then 2 minutes on each topic to run down, give some the absolute hottest of answers and takes of things that we can dream of. We haven't done it in a little bit, so we're a little rusty. Had to work our way back into it.
All of these Fuegos have been made for like months at this point, so I have no idea what we're about to get.
It's the brain that doesn't work anymore. That's it.
Yeah.
Let's send it.
All right. So this one apparently is Battle of the Card Games. Okay. Let's see. 2 minutes on the clock for the first one. 5-card draw or Texas Hold'em. This should be an easy one.
It's Hold'em.
Yeah. So Hold'em has become like what, the Cadillac?
Yeah, it really has.
It has.
But I will say, forever, like for I don't know how many years until the poker boom, I'd like played.
Yeah, when did that happen? It's been a while for
it's been forever.
See, I found 5-card draw playing with my mates to be less fun than Texas Hold'em with my mates. I find 5-card draw, there's less about bluff, there's less about psychological engagement with your opponent and trying to read. Whereas 5-card draw, I find, is just betting on statistics more often than not. Very, very similar to say blackjack.
Well,
at least that's my opinion.
Draw, and when you do like you ever use wild cards, 5-card draw.
That can get crazy.
Deuces wild, one-eyed jacks, Sue's had king wild. Those types of things.
It definitely took me a while to get into Texas Hold'em because while I was watching it the first while, I thought it was boring because it was just like, they know their cards the entire game and they're just waiting for the other cards to come out. Like what? Yeah. How does this work? But I mean, once you actually learn how it's played and learn like the psychological battle behind it, like you were saying, and there is still like betting on statistics. So as Warhammer players, we kind of bet on statistics quite a bit.
We do,
right?
Yeah.
Like this unit should kill that unit. Yeah. I'll have this one.
Knowing the odds,
knowing the odds.
Should I charge this unit or not? Those are types of things that do factor in math. Like, and that's the beauty of Texas Hold'em.
So Paul's for 5-card, I'm for Hold'em. Dustin, you're going to split us.
Oh no, I'm not for 5-card. I'm just saying because, like, for how good
I don't know. You're kind of.
Then what are you for? What are you for?
Oh, definitely Texas Hold'em. As far as like what I would choose to play. Like,
you're irrelevant, Dustin. You don't need you.
All right. Well, you don't need my vote. That doesn't matter. We can just go on to the next one. It don't matter.
But like that's all anybody ever played until World Caesar Poker started.
You have to give it its respect, is what you're saying.
I still watch a bit of poker every now and then. It's fine.
Yeah, me too. All right, next up, Hearthstone or Legends of Runeterra?
Haven't played Legends of Runeterra.
It actually wasn't bad, but compared to Hearthstone,
are you saying it's dead?
Yeah, it should be.
Like, I don't think they're sponsoring us, so we can say whatever's in our heart.
Well, if they're dead, that kind of answers it because I know Hearthstone's still alive. Hearthstone has a lot of good things and a lot of bad things about it. But Paul, I think you play Hearthstone actively.
I do play Hearthstone. Yeah, it's like one of those like at least a couple times a week, just turn the brain off and play.
Yeah.
What mode do you play?
I like Battlegrounds because I kind of like the draft mechanic.
Okay.
Of it because I'll run through like some of the daily quests, but I have no expectations of winning. What I do not prefer about a virtual card game is that how it invents cards. Like one card can turn into 97,000 cards for card advantage. Like, well, I was not thinking that hard about it. So you know what? You got me.
Yeah.
And I don't begrudge them for thinking hard about it because it is a competition there for playing. They're not getting that competition when they play me, so I don't take it too personally. I hope they don't either, my opponents. But that's one of the reasons I can't get more into Hearthstone is because it's that whole card invention mechanic that I don't necessarily care for.
Which MTG has invented. They've invented like their alchemy set just for online, which is it's them chasing.
Oh, I'm pretty. There's got to be an MTG one on here, so don't get too into that one yet.
yeah, fair. So it sounds like Hearthstone though, because the other one's dead. So.
Yeah, I don't think there's any.
Well, but tell me, what was good about Legends of Runeterra?
Well, you had to be a League of Legends fan, to be honest, because if you knew all the characters and stuff, then it was actually kind of cool to put them on the card form. And the interactions for it were unique, and I actually liked the uniqueness of how the card game was played. I'm always a fan of trying these new card games to see what kind of new stuff they come up with. If they just do like an old system, that is boring, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Fuego.
Next one. Triple Triad or Gwent?
These are used with regular playing cards, right?
No.
Oh, then I have no idea. I'm out.
This is the Final Fantasy VIII card game versus the Witcher card game. The in-game card games.
Okay, so I got it. So in the game,
a lot of people don't know the names of those, so I probably should point that out.
Well, then Triple Triad all day long. Then
what's Triple Triad?
That's the Final Fantasy VIII card game where you have like the 9 squares and you have to put the monster cards down.
In the game.
In the game.
In-game one. Yeah, where I played the absolute crap out of it.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. Like you had to get whatever materia or whatever.
Yeah, I felt like I played that game more than I played the actual game. How does Gwent played?
It was like it has different rows of where the monsters go to.
That's right.
It's a good one too. Actually, it's actually really good.
Nah, Triple Triad.
Although, look, I gotta give it up to the let's all hail the Emperor of the Nerds, Henry Cavill.
Yes,
Witcher. I did not play Witcher, but I loved the show when it came out. I don't have any experience with it.
That's the only reason I don't know anything.
You can just play Witcher 3 and you're good to go. You don't need to play the first 2, or read the books.
Yeah,
but play Witcher 3 and you're good to go.
Henry, if you're listening, I will play all the Witchers. I will not disrespect any of the Witchers, and when I talk about them, I will talk lovingly about
them. The first one's hard to get through. It's really hard to get through.
We've both still got our fingers crossed for our extras call up.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. We're all gonna be on the Prime show. We'll show up as like this random squad of Space Marines.
Just take me out in the first scene.
That's my line.
I honestly, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, is my line?
Yeah.
I actually have to go Gwent with this one. The Gwent one is like Triple Triad is awesome and I loved it, but Gwent is actually really intricate and good game. All right. Next. Exploding Kittens or Coup?
Oh, this is hard actually.
Yeah. We're getting to the harder ones as it gets to the end.
Exploding Kittens is a lot of fun.
It is. So is Coup.
It is. A lot of fun too. Exploding Kitten is like I don't know. I think it started the trend, but it was very very early on. In the trend
it was very early. I don't know if it started it, but it was definitely same with Coup.
Yeah, I'm not sure I know Coup as well as I know Exploding Kittens. How's it play? It's the mob one, yeah.
Mob one.
Yeah, you're head of you're head of a family.
I think we're thinking of a different.
I don't think that's the right answer, Adam.
I don't think that's the right answer.
All right. Someone tell me what Coup is.
Coup is one of the ones that you're trying to fool each other with missions that you're going on, and you're trying to find out who the traitor is. I can't remember there's a bunch of different versions of this game, but you're putting they have cards, and one person's trying to screw everybody else over, but you have to find out who that person is without.
Let me rephrase this with a game that we might all know.
There we go.
Exploding Kittens versus Werewolf.
I don't know Werewolf.
You don't know Werewolf?
No.
Man.
You made it hard.
We got something to do. Like next weekend, we're playing Werewolf.
All right. Exploding Kittens is my vote.
Yeah.
Because Coop wasn't what I thought it was.
Hidden information game. Exactly. That's a hidden information game.
I do like the ease of like getting people up to speed. Like, what is like shut up and sit down call? They call it the teach. Like you can explain some of these games in about 5 minutes, and then everyone knows the rules. And I think those games are the ones that are the best for like playability.
That's true.
With people that aren't into the game as much as you are, and you can do that
win that just because it's so easy to get people into it. I think you're right on that one. Sure.
That's what it is. Like, here's 2 minutes of this is what you do. Let's go.
That makes sense. But if you have people that already know how to play Coup, it is ridiculously fun to play.
Well, no one knows that.
Yeah. Magic the Gathering or Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh, you have fallen into my trap.
All right. Okay, I'll say 2 things. MTG all the way, except for the memes, which Yu-Gi-Oh is the memes.
The memes?
The memes that come out of the Yu-Gi-Oh card game are spectacular. Like what Paul just did. Like culturally defining meme value nerddom stuff comes out of Yu-Gi-Oh, but MTG is just so much better.
So I missed the Yu-Gi-Oh phase. I know it still exists. Everything. My oldest was into it for a very, very brief amount of time. So Magic Gathering, all the way for me.
Yeah.
And despite it getting quite messy in recent years, I started playing.
They just set after set after set.
Honestly,
it's madness.
Commander is just the way to play Magic.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? MTG's been around for so long that it just has a mode for all occasions. Yeah. It has a mode for everybody.
I love that.
Yeah, you can play Pauper, you can play Pioneer, you can play Explorer, you can play Standard, you can play Best of 3, Best of 1, you can play Commander, you can play Brawl. Like that's the great thing about MTG. It's been around forever, so therefore it's got a mode for anybody's investment.
Yeah, I love the draft. We're talking earlier about her, so I love the draft. Like the whole, can I solve problems with the series of things in front of me? Can I build something that is going to do with the most degenerate thing possible when it comes down to play?
Yeah, you can do a draft in any card game though, right? Just like Magic is a great one for that. Yu-Gi-Oh! You can do it too. I think one of the biggest distinctions I've found between the two games is that Yu-Gi-Oh! Is basically like you start the game at 20 mana. Because everybody starts the game at full power, so the games are like really fast, really intense with all the combos and deep stuff you can get into it. It gets really complicated really quickly. If you like comboing and like really intricate plays and stuff, then Yu-Gi-Oh is definitely better than Magic in that sense. Magic you build up to. I like the building up of Magic. Personally. But I do play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh as well. Like I Master Duel because Master Duel is so.
I do like the busted stuff. Like that's what I'm talking about with Magic. Like I like the oh man, like talking about getting my face kicked in Hearthstone with combos and how I don't necessarily like that. I love it when it happens in Magic. So it's a weird thing that's happening.
Right.
Yeah,
that makes
Fuego.
Sense. That's Fuego. So that means we're on to this week's meme theme.
Yeah,
the meme theme.
Right.
For those of you that can't see the picture, who is that anyway? Is that what's his name? Oh, I can't.
Drake.
Thank you. It's the Drake. Insert thing you hate with him with oh no, and then insert thing you like with him pointing at the screen and smiling.
Yeah.
2 minutes on the
clock. For me, it's very easy.
Okay.
The top one is Ultramarines. The bottom one is Dark Angels.
Let's see.
Oh, Desolation Marines with rerolls to hit at the top. And Desolation Marines with rerolls to hit and +1 to wound.
+1 to wound. Yeah. Fine. Yeah, that was.
That's what I needed.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Oh, there's like, something about the Marines are here to save us, and like, I'd reverse it. Reverses like the Marines are here to save us. Oh no, they've got spikes. They got spikes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I like that. What else you got? Chat, you can join in with us too. Remember too. We're trying to keep this Warhammer related for the most part since we went far off of Warhammer.
Warhammer is, there are Magic the Gathering Warhammer cards.
Yeah, top one is Erebus. Bottom one is Khan.
Oh,
yeah. If you've read the book, actually Erebus and then anyone.
No, who's the other like the not Night Lord, like Karn's buddy.
Who gets?
No spoilers.
No. You mean Argyle Tau?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Downvoting people. My opponent's dice spiking. My dice spiking. Yeah.
Yes, correct. Yeah, that's it. Be one-eyed. I like, so for me, the top one would be 9-inch charges, and then the bottom one would be 10-inch charges, because I can't make a 9 to save my life, but when I go for a YOLO 10, somehow it works.
Oh, just miracle.
Top one, my opponent's about to charge me to win the game. Bottom one, his clock ran out.
His clock ran out. Oh, yeah. Brutal.
Gonna be that guy.
Dude. That is our show this week. It is good to be back in action and talking about the events. As events start to pick back up, as we did mention, this ITC season is about to close out, which means we'll be looking for the top players that get off to a good start here in the early part of 2025. Really looking forward to this year and hanging out with y'all in chat, and anybody that listens to us after the fact. If you're listening to us after the fact on the aggregators, please leave us 5-star reviews. Please subscribe. If you made it this far and you haven't subscribed yet, just do it. I mean, like, you don't have to listen to every show, but we really appreciate it if you did. Subscribe means a lot. Leave some comments down below on the YouTube channel. That also means a lot. And if you're so inclined, please check us out on Patreon. That is one way to support the show. All the ways I've talked about, some are hassle-free, some, a little bit of hassle, but we appreciate everything you do. And if you can, come and join us live each and every Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. We have an amazing chat community. Get to hear us jibber about all this stuff in real time.
That's true. Every week. At the exact same time.
That is our show this week, everybody. Hope you'll have a great night. Stay safe out there no matter where you are. We'll see you again real soon.
See ya.
See ya.